Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Jazzy here, the new and improved realtor. Okay, the new realtor, let's just be real. I've been meaning to make this video since I got my license, and I've been holding it off and holding it off and holding it off. But sometimes you just gotta wait. You gotta wait for the right moment. And I'm here to give you some inspiration, because I don't think I've ever told anyone that I failed my test 4 times before passing on the 5th. Everyone thought I took only 3 times to take it. It took me 5 times to take that test before I passed. This traffic just to go 2 exits is just too much. Insane. It's just insane. So I'm gonna give you guys the backstory on how I got into real estate, what prompted me to get into real estate, why am I choosing real estate as my career, and how it's been going. Real estate is this job is not easy. It's not for the weak. It's not for the ones that just want to be cute and have a check. You gotta put in work. And there's so many challenges and trials and tribulations that you go through in this process. And it's like, if you know, you know. And if you want to know, I'm gonna give you the tea. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you what it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it might be, and what it's definitely not going to be. So if you want to keep watching, if you want to hear about my crazy 2-year journey, get some popcorn and let's do it. And I'm cool today, okay? This is real jazz. This is no makeup jazz. This is no wig jazz. This is cool jazz, okay? Little historical brief background, whatever. So my mom is a realtor. She's been a realtor for more than 37 years. And I understand real estate. Real estate is in my bones, it's in my blood. I understand it to the T. I understand it in the sense of the work that has to be done to get the deal closed. I understand that you're not getting paid until the closing day, and you have to work for your money. Okay? Growing up, my mother's phone always would ring. It would ring on the weekends, on the weekday, at night, in the morning. Her phone will always ring, and sometimes I would just ask her, like, can you just turn the phone off? Because I got the mom that's gonna get on the phone. She gonna want you to be quiet. She gonna turn the radio down. She gonna stop what she doing. And now we waiting until 15 minutes, 20 minutes until she off the phone, and she talks too much. So I remember growing up with that understanding of how difficult it is to be in real estate and how time consuming it is, but also I understand the reward. My mother was able to build her dream house. I was able to watch her come home with blueprints on the house that she wanted to build. I was able to see her succeed in so many deals and go through so many trials and tribulations with clients and make that bag, okay? So I would always help her. I have been her official assistant since I think I was a junior in high school. That's when I started to take it serious, and I really wanted to understand how to write a contract. How do you get clients? Like, what are leads? Like, I was doing the little things in the background for her. I was around 16. So then when I got to college, my freshman year in college, my mother needed a hip replacement. So she still worked, but she needed a lot of the work done behind the scenes to be done by me, because I wasn't a licensed agent. So I was like her official assistant. I was getting a lot of her work done, making sure that we were able to get to that closing table. I went to college 40 minutes away from home, and I decided to stay on campus. So by me staying close to home, close enough where I could just drive home when I needed to, it allowed me to still learn a lot. And I realized I was spending a lot more time working and at home than at school and partying. And that's what I liked it better. I realized that was my thing. I like to work. I like to get things done. I don't want to be in the party scene. I want to make money. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. So my degree was in sociology, minor in psychology. So I went to school from 2016 to 2020. I graduated in 2020. In the interim of me being in school, I worked for a nonprofit, and I was able to, with children, move into being a supervisor. So I was a supervisor, I think, from junior year all the way until I got out of college until this past year. So I don't know the dates. I don't know, like 2019 all the way until 2021, I was a supervisor for 3 years. And me being a supervisor there for 3 years, I realized my strengths, I realized my weaknesses, I realized what I needed to work on. I realized what I was great at. I realized that I was motivated by greatness. I was motivated by my ideas. All I had to do was think about one thing and it would prompt me to create a masterpiece. I'm the type of person that if there's a goal, I'm gonna overexceed. I'm gonna be the best and you can't beat me, and I'm gonna always be the best and I'm gonna be great. Once I realize that's the thing that I wanna do and I put my mind to it, you can't beat me. Like that has been my mindset and I love it. To manifest, you have to have the skill set to be able to manifest and be motivated and push forward in whatever you want to do, even when things look down, even when things are hard. There usually comes a time in your job when you realize it's time to go. I stayed like a year too late, and I don't know, maybe I'll do a story time on this job. It was a lot. I learned a lot. It was what it was, and it was a lot. So I realized it was time for me to go. You know when you telling a story and you realize you messing up? Yeah, that's me. So 2020, the year I graduated from college, was the year that I started pursuing my real estate license. I graduated in May. We work at my job, we worked in components. So we worked fall, spring, and summer. We worked in 3 components. So I graduated in the spring component, which was May. The summer component is it's a lot. That's basically why you get paid the salary you get paid, because you work endlessly and it's so much. It's an entire summer program. It's 100 kids. Like you got 20 staff. It's just too much. So I wanted to start my real estate license journey at the end of that summer. So right in August is when I bought my materials to start the classes. I bought the materials. You know what? Shout out to my mother, because she definitely paid for my materials. She said, you want to do it? Okay. So she paid for my classes. They were like $400 and something, I think. I don't remember, like 4 something. I registered, I started taking them. So remember, I grew up in real estate. I grew up in it. So anything you say to me, most likely I know what you're talking about. So when I was in the classes, I didn't take them serious. The guy kind of rambled on and on and on. It was still COVID. It was 2020, so everything was virtual. I was already virtual with my job for some things. Like, it was just so much online that I didn't take it serious. Should I have studied a little bit more? Yes. Was I studying? Yes. Was I studying the right content? No. So that's where I first started off wrong. We had our regular book that they supplied us with, the Universal Real Estate book, and then he gave us like a study guide, which he only studied from. Like, we would go online and go to class, he would only read from like his study guide that he made. So were we getting the information out of the book? Yes, but everything was in the book. That's what we needed to read. So I became a little lazy. I would study, but I wouldn't study hard enough. I would rather take the tests that were in his study guide versus in the book, because in the book the questions were harder, and I decided I wasn't gonna deal with it. And then I realized I'm not learning anything. I realized that. So I fake it till I make it, because you know me, I'm gonna just do what it takes till, you know, we get it done. It's time for me to take the online final course in order for me to get my certificate so I can take my test. I couldn't pass it. I took it 4 times, total 4 times. Couldn't pass it, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm taking a break. This is too much for me. You only have like a month or like a month and a half, something like that. You only have like 6 weeks to not come to a class before you're kicked out of the class. So now we're around, I think we're around like November, December, and I can't pass. So I was like, whatever. So I took my break. I ended up taking a break all the way until like May. Y'all, May. And mind you, I'm still working at my job. Kind of put it on the back burner, kept procrastinating. May, we're back. Boom. Hit up like, hey, I need to re-enroll. Now I gotta pay $250. Now I gotta pay $250, so I'm a little bit more like, all right, now it's my coin. I gotta like take this serious. I already took my mother's money. I already said I was gonna do it. I wasted all this time. I didn't do it. Now it's time to get busy. So I get the class. I think I waited until, I think it was May. At the end of May is when I did I re-bought it in May. Why I didn't log in? I bought it, never re-logged in, never re-registered, nothing. I just paid it and that was it. Trifling. I know. I'm trifling. I know. So after all that happens, I don't revisit this situation until, because September, I decided I was moving out of my apartment. I decided I was going to quit my job at December, and I was going to give myself time to study and just kind of collect my money and just kind of wait, you know, just kind of chill out. Not wait, but yeah, wait. I was going to take my test, study, pass my test in the interim of me waiting until December and just kind of writing out the rest of my salary for the rest of the year. So I was supposed to go back to classes and I never went back to the class. I don't even know if it was until August that I know September I took it more serious, but oh, this is what happened. So in September he said, Jasmine, when you're actually ready to take that final test, then call me. He's like, you don't need to go back in the classes, just study, do what you need to do. Come in, take the physical final test, and then I'll give you your certificate and you're good. So I said, really? So that was September. We had that. So in October I went in, and I think it was around the end of October. I think I had 1 more week left at my job. So I took an extra 3 weeks to get myself together. I go in, I take my test, I pass. Period. I finally passed. The fact that we're only halfway through the story is just really sickening to me because it took everything out of me to pass that test. So I passed the test. And mind you, that test is not even nowhere near as hard as the actual test, like the real test. So I pass the test, great. So I procrastinate again. October, I say I'm leaving this job. I don't want to work here anymore. I'm miserable. I am depressed. Like, this place is not for me. It's so remedial. This is just not for me. Like, I'm thinking big picture. I'm thinking millions of dollars. I'm thinking thousands and things. I'm thinking all this stuff but this job, because it's non-profit. Like, I love my people. I love to help people but like, at the end of the day, I cannot advance my career and stay in this position. Like, there's just no way I can do it. I can't. So I quit my job and I'm like, I'm gonna start studying. I'm gonna start getting serious, because you have to study a little bit harder to pass the actual PSI. So I move back home, and because at this point I've been at home for maybe like, I moved back home in September 1st. So I was at home for like 2, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. I was at home for a few months. So I started studying for my tests. So December goes by, didn't take it. January comes by, didn't take it. February comes by, it's time to take it. And at this time, I was using all the money that I had saved up, and the money started going rapidly. Like, that's when I realized I gotta get my license, I gotta get going, because I have no money. When I wasn't working another job, I was just at home, depressed. I was depressed that things weren't going the way that I expected them to go, but also I wasn't putting in the work. But also I was used to always winning. I was used to always being first. I was used to always being great. And this is the first time in my life that things were actually difficult for me to succeed. I genuinely couldn't pass the test. Like, I genuinely couldn't remember the information. I couldn't remember I couldn't remember. Like I felt like I wasn't smart enough to accomplish this goal. Sorry, I didn't even take the test yet, but you know what I mean? I wasn't ready. I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send all my information in, and I'll make a video on how to get your real estate license simplified. But I finally sent all my information in. I sent my info in, and now it's time to pay for the test. When I go to pay for the test, here we go, drama. One thing about a PSI, you getting your real estate license, that process, there's nothing easy about it. Like, they like to play around, mess up your social. You gotta call them to get yourself registered. They're supposed to be sending you a postcard. Never sent me the postcard. With an extra 3 weeks to take the test. Now we're in March. We are in March, and it is time to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. Hey, 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 Muhammad Ali. Boom. Time to go take the test. So I go take the test my first time. I try to get there 30 minutes early. I get there, I don't know where I'm going. By the time that I figured out because it's a weird dungeon area, it's industrial. It was just, the where they have it just makes no sense. So I get there, and I think I'm 10 minutes late. I think so, because you're supposed to be there at I think my test was always at 6 p.m. so I got there at like 5:40, because you're supposed to be there at 5:30. So I think I got there at like 5:40, whatever. I got there at 5:40, in the door at 5:40, and there's this black lady. She's there. There's all these people. There's just maybe like 10 people sitting there, and there's these rooms in the back to take the test. And I come in, I'm like, hi, you know, I'm stressed out, I'm hot, I'm sweating because I couldn't find the place, and it's time for me to go and sit down to talk to her, to give her my stuff. She goes, well, where's your other piece of ID? I said, my license is right there. She was like, no, I need another ID. And if you don't have another ID, you're not taking the test. Oh, I was like, well, I don't have a social. Like, I don't have my social security card. I don't have anything else. That's all I have. So she's like, well, if you don't have it, well, you have to go. So I get up, and I'm like tearing. I'm crying, because I spent 45 minutes to an hour, whatever it was, trying to find this place. I get here, this lady's being rude to me. She's not even trying to help me, nothing. So I'm like, okay. So I go back to the car. I was panicking, and I was like, okay, Jasmine, think. So I open up the email, and I see their credentials, like what you need. So what you need is just like a debit card or a credit card with your signed signature on the back. That will do. So I get it, I bring it down, and I'm like, why couldn't you just tell me, lady? That's all I needed. Why did you have to be so mean about it? Why? Like, why couldn't you just be kind to me and try to help me versus trying to make me nervous and be mean to me when all you had to say was, do you have a debit card? We're gonna leave that alone. So I'm so nervous, I forget my calculator in the car. Mistake number 2. So I was too flustered to even ask the lady for anything. I didn't even ask her. I just said, okay, I'm gonna go take the test. Go take the test. I'm like a nervous wreck, but I'm like, I know, whatever, you know. There are a lot of questions in there. I was like, I don't know what these answers are. I had no idea where they were coming from. I've never seen them in the book. I didn't know. So I go, I take the test, I fail. Both parts. I'm tight. I am livid. Not one part, but two. I failed 2 parts. Not only that, I failed the state by 1 point. And if I had my calculator, I will always believe I would have passed if I had my calculator. Because 10 questions are math questions. So I was hurt by that. So I left. I didn't tell my mom I was taking the test. So when I left, I had called her, and I just started crying. I was like, I failed my test. And she's like, it's okay, just reschedule it and take it again. And my mom failed her test a lot too. Like, she failed at that thing more than me. I think she failed it like 6 or 7 times, like definitely more than me. And she's like, it's fine, just go take it again. So 2 days later, I come back and I take the, because you can't take it one day after the next, you have to give it 24 hours. So I go back, I take the test. failed it by 2 points this time. The state part, I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting the information right, and I'm gonna tell you guys at the, like when we get down to the, I'll get down to the root. So I failed it again. So at this point, I have no money. I need to sell some houses. I'm not passing my test, and I'm depressed and I'm stressed and I'm losing. That's how I see it. And life was not like it was horrible. It's not like I didn't have, you know, food to eat. My mom wasn't helping me. Like, you know, it wasn't like that, but it was hurtful for my ego. It was something I was never used to. Like, for me to not have money, extra money, like that was big for me. Like that was something completely different and new for me. So then I decided that I was going to find a part-time job. So I went on one interview. I didn't get hired by the place. It was some, what is the job? It had to do with real estate. Basically, it was like, it's they do like floor plans for sellers. They do photography pictures, drones and stuff, and I was just gonna be like one of their admin on the team. Didn't get the job. But then on the team that I'm on now, I applied for a position to work there as a in-sales associate. Basically, I'm just kind of answering the phone. I was hired for something else, but I ended up doing something else. I was hired to be a transactional coordinator, which is kind of helping the clients through the process, answering any of their questions, talking to the attorneys, that type of thing, doing paperwork. That was what I came on for, but I ended up doing in-sales associate. So I'm answering the phone, trying to connect the clients or leads and clients to the agents. So in that interim, I definitely told my team leader I failed the test once, but we were already 2 times failed. Okay, because when they see this video, they're gonna be like, ah, yeah, I definitely failed it. I failed it twice by then. And what hurt me the most, because I was in that job for, I think like it was 2 months or a month and a half or something like that. I was seeing all these agents that passed their test, and I'm like, how can I not do this and they did this? Like, and I know what I'm doing. I know I can do this job great. I know I will be amazing. So why can't I pass? What is the issue? So for the duration of that month and a half that I worked there, every morning I cried before I go to work. Every morning I cried. Every morning I just cried. It was so bad. I cried going to work, I cried leaving from work, and it wasn't like a boo-hoo cry. It was just like, I just want to be great cry. You know that cry. You just want to be great, and you tired of pushing, and you keep pushing, and you trying to make it work, and you just can't. Like, you just can't. And I was so grateful for the opportunity to be in the company that I was in, and the city that I was in. Like, everything was perfect, but the fact that I just didn't have my license killed me. Like, it did. Every day was a challenge for me to get up and come out the door, because I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I had to start from the bottom. So I was, you know, answering calls, doing everything I could to be of assistance to the agents. Then I go take the test the 3rd time. I think I gave it like a week, you know. I don't think I studied as hard because I was so frustrated about failing. I studied, but I don't think I studied as hard as I should have had studied. So I fail it again. 3 times down. Then a few days later, I took the test again and I failed it again. But this time I actually studied so hard. I was just like, I know this. And shout out to my mom, because she studied with me towards the end, like the last 3. She studied with me all the time. Even when I first started, I have videos of like me in her bed, like just kind of going through the work, and we were reading the book. So shout out to her for real, because I owe her a car. I owe her my life. She held me down and she made me study. We would be up till 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. She'll text me, I hope you're studying right now. We'll do 4-hour sessions, 3-hour sessions. Don't get me wrong, my mother is definitely a grandma, and she's definitely going to sleep while I'm reading and I'm studying. But she was a real one. She really was through this whole process. So let me get back. So I failed the test for the 3rd time. And the 4th time. I failed 4 times. So now I tell everybody, I'm like, okay, at my job, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go take my test, you know, hopefully I pass. And I had asked my team lead, I'm like, hey, is there something I'm missing about the state test? Because at this point, I'm ready for like the uniform test. I'm like, I keep failing the state test too, and I'm like, am I missing something? So from the beginning, I don't have the freaking Connecticut state test, like the book. I wasn't given that book from my real estate school. So one of the agents was nice enough to go home and bring me her book with like pages and highlighted with all the information, like sticky notes. The book was like, I think 200 and something pages, 275, whatever it was. I read that whole book that night. I read the entire book that night. Every question in that book that I was missing literally was right there. Everything was there. Everything I was missing, everything that was wrong was there. What also helped me was I was talking to a few agents. When you go schedule for on the PSI website, they also have practice exams. You're gonna get the 500 question exam packet thing. It's like a system where you're able to take tests over and over. Get that, because the questions are identical or very similar, and the wording is similar to the questions on the test. So I was like, I've been missing all of the information this entire time. I'm studying the things if I don't need to study. It's all right here. I was so tight. I was so hurt. That night, when I came home from work, because I was working part-time, 10 to 2. She gave me the book, came home, read that whole book for the rest of the night until like 10 p.m. Then I went 10, it had to be like 11, probably like 11 p.m. Then I went back, did a few more tests, took another PSI test, the practice test on the computer, re-looked at my vocab words, what I needed to work on, studied some math. By this time it's 1 a.m. I go to the back of that Connecticut State book. I take the 120 something questions. I think I got like 10 wrong, all the correct answers to that. Then I went upstairs. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I go talk to my mom. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to practice whatever you wanna go over. I'll just answer whatever questions. And I told her, I'm very tired, so we gotta wrap this up. And she's like, well, you need to do 30 more minutes, and you're gonna answer all my questions. We're doing vocab. And I'm like, I can't do any more vocab, because I was also doing vocab on prep agent. I'm gonna make another video on how to like actually pass the test, but this is just story time on how all this crap went down. So we're doing another 30 minutes on vocab, and I'm just looking at her like, I've literally read a 200 and something page book tonight. I went to work today. I've been studying all day. I've been doing math questions. It is 2:30 in the morning. I'm ready to go to sleep. So by the time I left her room, it was like 3:15. I had to be at the test, I think at 7:30 or 8. I don't know. I can't remember what the time it was, but I think it had to be 8, something like that. So I go in, and this time I don't go back to the place here in Connecticut. I went to New York. So I went to New York, and it was a few miles closer. I'm mad at my camera just stopped recording. Can they even do that? Like, I don't even know. Okay. So I passed both tests. I'm like, go Jay, go Jay, hey, go Jay. So passed both exams. Now it's time to get it cracking. Now it's time to get it cracking. All that anger, all that frustration, all that crying. Now it's time to get it cracking, because your girl is here. The realtor is a real deal. So my car breaks down. You won't believe it. My car breaks down in the interim of all this. It breaks down. So I need to pay for my car to get fixed, and I need to pay for my dues, and dues are like $1,500 to $200. So my car needs to get fixed. I gotta put my cars over the dues. we're gonna skip over a lot of that because that's a lot of drama, and maybe that's a story time for another time because it became a lot, and I was blessed to have people around me to pay for me and help me get through. Now I'm an agent. 1 month in, okay, let me talk about my team. So what's great about my team is that we have Zillow leads, and we also have like an entire CRM that we work with. So I have leads. I was able to generate leads as soon as I got my license. Like I right there off the bat, I was ready. Everything was great. So I think that's enough there. I'm now 90 days, I think almost 90 days into being an agent. I have going to contract with the property today, and I'm going to contract on Friday. Today's Wednesday, and I'm going to contract on Friday on another property. So 90 days in, I think I could also do a video on that and kind of what it took, what were my trials and tribulations, what did I learn in my first 90 days, things that you should know before you get your real estate license. I'll do all those videos. But this here is the motivation to do it. Like, the journey is not gonna be easy. And typically, and I'm just saying, the people who pass the test on the first try are the people that typically don't last in the industry. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't know what it is, what's in the Kool-Aid, what's in the tea. The ones that kind of take a few times to pass it and they eventually do are the ones that stick to it. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong. But from what I've heard and what I've seen, like my mother, she's a broker now. She's been in real estate for what, 38 years? If she would have quit, you know, if she would have quit, she would have never gotten to where she is today. But it seems like the people that had a harder time getting through the test are the ones that are really good at selling. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Never give up. It don't matter how hard it is. Never give up. Sometimes you gotta delay the journey. The journey is just getting started, honey. Like, we're 90 days in. I'm ready for 90 more years because we gonna run this until the wheels fall off. If you want to be in real estate, follow my channel. I'm gonna give you all the information that I have, motivation. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send you all my good energies. We're gonna make this happen. This year is our year. It's 2022. And we're gonna run this money up. But not only that, we're gonna serve our communities, we're gonna help our clients, and we're gonna be great. And you never let nobody tell you that you can't do something, because you're gonna do it, and you're gonna be the best, and you're gonna be that girl, you're gonna be that guy. Was that too much? I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Just please don't give up. And if you have any questions on how to move forward in real estate and how to get your motivation and how to build clientele and how to find your niche, email me, call me, text me. I'm here. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Jazzy, the real estate channel. Have a great day. Peace.